Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome everybody back to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Kai Shapper. Kai, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Josh. Just got done running Outlaws, the race before this, and decided to ask you if you wanted some help with the booth. So I'll be with you tonight and help you call the action.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in. It's nice not to be alone out here on track, and you have first-hand experience of this track. So we noticed in practice in the first race, the track seemed really, really slick, and then really tightened up as the race went on. Is that kind of what was going on, or was that just people trying to overdrive a little bit?
I think it was more of an overdrive. It actually felt really tight during the race. Coming out of turn, what is now turn two. I kind of had to start downshifting because I was getting so tight, lock up the front side and kind of coming into that wall a little bit too hard. So decided to shift her down, starting about 20, 30 laps in, and it'll pop that tail out, and the car drive right off.
Perfect. And we're going to see a lot of that tonight. I'm sure a couple of these guys were watching that broadcast and kind of have an idea of what's going on tonight. As to see Garrett Kinder sliding through the dog leg there. Let's take a look at our points coming in tonight. We see Zach Wetstein, currently your points leader. Garrett Kinder not too far behind. Chuck Phelps up into the third spot, and Christian, the coach Deadman, back and forth, but not too far behind as well. Aaron Adcock, Jeff Paisley, Spencer Gay, and Charlie Stevens. So a tight battle. Only 10 points separating second through eighth. It's going to be a tight battle to see who's going to move on into the round of eight next week. The round of four next week at Las Vegas. And Zach Wetstein pretty much just has to control the race and have a nice solid finish to move on next week. But it almost seems like second through eighth are sitting back on the bubble. So we got about 2 minutes left of practice here. We take a look at Aaron Adcock out on track, and I know there is still a little bit of bad blood between Aaron and Zach. I know they got into each other a couple weeks ago at North Wilkesboro. We see some wrecking here on the backstretch. We saw a couple big wrecks tonight where the track just kind of blocked up. That restart, we saw a couple trucks get a little loose, get a little sideways, and caused a big pileup.
Yeah, and they're supposed to save it for the end of the race for the winner. I definitely think that the cautions are going to be a little bit more controlled compared to the Outlaw race tonight. A lot of them were just small cautions in the back, except for the one that we had in turn three. But man, I think it's going to be a good race tonight, and I'm excited to see who makes it on to the next round.
Not just that, but we saw a lot of green flag racing as well in the Outlaw race, and I'm sure we're going to see quite a bit of green flag racing here tonight. Zach Wetstein currently at the top of the board with Garrett Kinder right behind, and Sam Wetstein up in the third place. So Sam having a great practice. I think it's just practice, but it should be a good race here overall. A couple of comments here in the chat. Let's see, Shappy bringing the broadcast home for the farm. That was Magic Mike, and Paul Passion says he's watching. Thanks, Paul, for tuning in here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the stream. It does help us out a lot. And let us know who you are pulling for tonight. We know Kevin Kinder is going to be popping in here. We know who he's going to be pulling for tonight. See Josh Smith in the 47 Air Force machine. And practice has officially concluded. We're going to get ready for qualifying. And Kai, we saw a lot of guys running that higher to mid lane through turns 1 and 4. Did you find that there was a bit of grip up there, or is that just people trying to get the momentum for that long backstretch now?
Honestly, it's the momentum, man. Like you can get a crazy run off of there, and if you do it just right, coming out of the corner and you get right above it, you set up for the next corner. You get that guy stuck on the inside. There's not really any drive off, and it tightens up their truck, and it loosens you up just enough to like kick out the tail like we were talking about earlier. But I thought running that outside was awesome, especially when you're trying to make the pass.
So it looks like we got some open qualifying here tonight.
Oh, Kinder must have messed up the session tonight, because I know they were struggling to get the session all together, but most of it should be. Yep. Kinder just came over comms, said roll with it. We're going to get some open qualifying, I think, for the first time in Rebels tonight.
They've done it before. It's just been a really long time since we've seen it. And Kevin Kinder, right on cue, says go number 13. As Jason Day jumps right up to the top of the speed charts. So let's see who can get the fast lap in here, because this is also a bit of an advantage and a disadvantage, because we know that the tires really fall off after 2 or 3 laps. So really your fast lap's going to be the first lap or two. And I hear Kai coming in really weak on the broadcast. Let me see if I can turn him up just a little bit.
I'll try and boost the mic just a hair on my end as well.
It's my end right here. Now we got Kai coming through loud and clear.
All right, there we go. Sounds good. I'm a little bit of a quiet, raspy guy, so I'm glad you guys let us know.
Pardon the ugly screen for a second, as I just want to make sure that my volumes are where they need to be. Want the sound of the engines taking over tonight. There we go. Sounds better now. Thank you, Magic Mike. We do appreciate you. Again, we don't want to...
Sam Wetstein's making his way to the top of the board. Like you said, with his practice time, up there a little early in the practice, Zach just took first from him. But I think Sam's going to have a good starting spot tonight, Josh.
I think you're right. Sam's really been improving over the last few weeks with his qualifying and having some great qualifying attempts. Garrett Kinder up into that 3rd spot, that big frig machine. And it's really nice to see some guys who may have been struggling early on in the season starting to turn around and having a bigger, better things going on. As Magic Mike said, Kai just being the shy guy in the boy band.
Oh, the boy band. That hasn't started yet. You don't want to hear me on the mic. You guys all might cry.
Speaking of improvements, how about Mr. Chuck Phelps back here? Currently just starting his first run here, but another guy who's really improved over the last year in every series.
And you know what? With a little bit of luck tonight and a little bit of wishing, I'm going to say Chuck takes the win because I want him to do it and I want to see him in that Final Four. I really think Chuck could have a really good chance here tonight. He loves it. Phoenix, runs a lot of laps here, does a lot of practice, and I'm going to go for Chuck tonight.
So is he your Reaper Sleeper pick tonight?
That is going to be my Reaper Sleeper tonight. Good old Chuck Pegleg Phelps.
There you go. I'm going to pull out the Reaper Sleeper as Sam Wetstein tonight. You know, Sam, he's been showing some speed the last few weeks, and really hasn't been up at the front, been kind of mid-pack all season long, but showing some speed the last few weeks, and hopefully he can put one together tonight.
Yeah, and the thing about Sam is I know Zach's been helping him with the practicing and getting the car or the truck dialed in. Definitely been helping him out a lot across all the series and getting Sam faster and faster. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Sam competing tonight up for a win or even a top 5 finish.
As always, Mickey Isaac sitting back in 8th. Mickey is a guy I like to say he's kind of like the Kevin Harvick of the group. You really don't talk about him until about the last 15, 20 laps, and then all of a sudden he just comes out of nowheres. See these guys really working that dog leg through the front stretch, and what is now the front stretch. I'm proud of myself. I only made one mistake in the first broadcast, calling the back stretch the front stretch. And that was it. So, got to remind myself that this track has flip-flopped. Kind of feel like when Darlington flip-flopped, for those of you old enough to remember that. Garrett Kinder up into the second position now. And Jason
Day.
Yeah, Jason
Yep.
Day up in the third.
Jason's really quick on these short tracks. Always quick, but definitely at these short tracks, Jason Day knows how to conserve some tire wear. And I believe the name of the game tonight's going to be if you can stay out of the accidents and stay clean tonight for hopefully only a couple, you're definitely going to be up front towards the end of the race.
Yeah, Jason Day's had some great runs. Hasn't really been able to put a full race together, but nothing of his doing, just getting caught up in other people's stuff at the end of the race. But we'll see tonight if he's able to get himself out there and a good top finish tonight. See, Coach sitting back in 12th right now in qualifying, which is kind of surprising. Usually he's up towards the front here, especially in these short tracks.
We got Zach back out on track, trying to improve his time. His last lap was 27.020, so just a little bit off of his fastest qualifying time. But he's about to pass the start-finish line and see if it's a faster lap. If not, I'm sure Zach will still be happy with the qualifying lap that he put down, and as he was slower with the 196. But I think Zach's going to be pretty happy with the qualifying lap he put down first.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. We only had one car in the Outlaw race that was able to get into the sub-27 range. That was Daniel Stewart with a 26.96, I believe. So not seeing that here in this race. Wonder if the weather's just a little bit different or whatnot here. I still think the fun, not fun, but the unique part of the last race was Steve Loving in the 27 car. Ran a 27.27.
That is crazy. Tripling up the numbers there, Josh.
I know, I'm thinking about it. See Stacy Passon's Adcock saying, let's go Aaron, drive that truck to the front. See where Aaron Adcock is currently 8th on the speed chart with just under 2 minutes to go.
Another one that we got in the top 5 right now, well, actually he just dropped to 6th, is Josh Oswald. Oswald loves these short tracks. He loves short track racing, but definitely gonna have to watch out for Josh here if he can keep it clean and avoid some accidents tonight.
Yes, Josh Thanos Oswald, not in the championship hunt here in the Sunday Night Truck Series. However, has been winning championships everywhere else, it seems like, in the original Rebels.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. The guys won modified championship, won another championship Thursday night, and the super late models, and then just seems to find a way to win championships. Also won the 87 series on Tuesday, won another championship there. So he's got a lot of trophies, belts, hopefully a little bit of sponsorship happiness, and probably a little bit of beer going down the throat as he's celebrating.
See, Josh Lukovitz out on track right now. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck. It looks like he got up into the wall. And only sitting back in 18th in the speed charts right now, but he's one to watch. Definitely gets his way up through the front in these short tracks. As Ratchet Miller says, all right, 13, let her hang out and get her done. As Kinder currently second on the speed charts. And there it is. Zach has run a sub 27 lap with a 26.96, matching Daniel Stewart's time from the Outlaw race. As we got qualifying just finishing up, checker flag is out here. And that's going to finish up. I believe these guys have another 15 seconds or so just to finish up their lap. And we'll get ready for our starting grid. So, Kai, we're going to see a lot of action here tonight as we see the checker flag being waved by Barney there from the flag stand. And this is going to be the starting grid brought to you by Magic Mike Motorsports. And tonight's Peg Leg Felts pole award goes to Zach Wetstein with a 26.96. Outside of him will be Garrett Kinder in that 13 machine. Row 2 is going to see the 52 of Jason Day and the 98 of Sam Wetstein.
And you got Jeff Paisley in the number 7 car, starting in 5th. Charles Stevens, that 88, playoff contention, in the 6th spot. You got Josh Oswald in 7th, and Christian Dedman made it all the way up to 8th in qualifying.
Starting in 9th, Aaron Adcock in the 23, with Spencer Gay in the 69 to his outside.
And you got Mickey Isaac. We got Mickey Isaac, Brandon Wallace, Josh Smith, and then Jim McClendon all the way back in 14th spot starting tonight.
Yep, 8th row, you're going to see Chuck Pegleg Felts in the 75 in the 15th starting spot, with Jesse Necula to his outside in 16th. Brett Grunwald in the 5, he'll be rolling off 17th, with Josh Lokenvitz in the 18th position.
And you got Todd Shaw starting in that 00 in 19th, Alex Veith, the number 51 car starting in 20, Tyler Rice starting 21st, and then we got a bunch of guys that didn't qualify, so we're going to round them off real quick. Jason Lottridge in 22nd, Kenneth Farmer 23rd, Kyle Roberts 24th, Mike Veith in 25th, and Tyler Gackey is going to round up your lineup tonight in the 26th spot.
So there's your starting grid tonight as we get ready to rack 'em, stack 'em, and fire 'em here at Phoenix. Again, if you're just joining us and you haven't noticed yet, this is the new Phoenix. This has been reconfigured to what you saw Kyle Larson win his championship on, and Ben Rhodes, Daniel Hemrick, as these guys are going to try to move their way into the championship for next week at Las Vegas. So the track is kind of flip-flopped. You'll see the start-finish line just before the dog leg. The back stretch used to be the front stretch. Pit road. You enter pit road off of turn number 2, and you go all the way through the field, and it kind of cuts the track almost in half. So it makes it very interesting, pit road. You'll actually see the pace car duck off onto pit road off of turn number 2, and then the field is going to have to keep their own pace as you see the pace car take that hard left-hand turn. The field's going to have to keep their own pace down the backstretch into the Geico start zone. That must have been really confusing for some of these guys here tonight, as we're used to, as soon as the pace car pulls off, being able to go. So Zach's going to lead them down to the starting zone. Garrett Kinder laying back just a little bit, trying to get a little jump on Zach here as they come to the green flag, which is in the air. And we are racing here at Phoenix, and Zach immediately cuts down to that dog leg, trying to get the best run through the corner he can, slides up in front of Kinder. As they work their way through 1 and 2 for the first time, we see Jason Day trying to get, we got one car. It looks like the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. up into the wall. They're 3 wide. Aaron Adcock on the bottom, Coach on the inside. Josh Smith making a big aggressive move down to the bottom here as well. As they complete lap number 1. Jump to the blimp to see just how much these cars are spreading out across the track. Great battle as Josh Oswald works around Charles Stevens Jr., moves himself up into the top 6. And we just saw messes of cars in the first race here tonight. We're starting to see that again here tonight, as you just got a gaggle of cars in the middle of the pack. It's like a hornet's nest back here.
And I think what you're going to see tonight, Josh, is these guys are going to start to file out in a single file, try and get a rhythm, and then as the caution comes out.
Caution is out for the first time, and trying to see who it involved. It might have been Mickey Isaac. That's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we try to see what brought out this yellow. I found it. Looks like Kyle Roberts might have had some issues by himself working underneath Alex Veith here. So we'll roll this back for you. See Kyle Roberts down on the bottom. And just coming off the corner, we saw that kind of early on in the first truck race, just pinching it down on the bottom, getting a little loose right in front of Jason Lottridge. Lottridge able to lock up the brakes there and get around without getting involved. We see Mike Veith trying to avoid it, catching the inside wall. So that's what brings out your first caution here at Phoenix. Up front, it's pretty much the same way it started with Zach and Garrett. 1 and 2.
And another guy that I'd like to mention is Brett Grunwald's already up 5 spots, starting 17th, already up to 12th in that short little run that we got after the green flag was taken. Definitely working his way to the front, but I think it's going to be a tire game on this first stint. Even with the cautions out, if it can stay green for just a little bit, I think these guys are going to be okay on gas after one stop. We were pretty okay in the outlaw race, but I think the tires are going to start getting to some of them. The guys that don't really shift into third, shift down, I think they're going to have a little more trouble if they don't figure that out during the race.
Yeah, another driver up 5 spots already is the 00 of Todd Schott. So 2 drivers starting to make their way up through the field pretty quickly. As the lights on the pace car are off, Zach's going to choose the outside on this restart. First time tonight we've seen a car choose the outside for the restart. As the pace car pulls down onto pit road, they take that long drive down the backstretch to the restart zone. Again, we're going to watch this restart from the blimp only because how much these guys are going to spread out down to that dog leg through the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Zach with the big jump across the line, and here they go down through the dog leg. You see Jason Day already trying to work to the bottom. We're trying to be 3 wide. Kinder, though, able to escape. Oh, Aaron Hancock goes around in the back.
Got to pile up behind him, Josh.
Wreck in the back. Caution is out. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage rewind. That's kind of what we saw in the first race here tonight. Was cautions kind of breeding cautions until we were able to really get it settled down. As we're going to take a look and see what happened here to Aaron Adcock. Nope. Should be looking at Aaron Adcock. I apologize for that. There we go. Oh, it looks like Jeff Paisley just kind of dive bombing in there. Gets a little loose, so we see Paisley's back end step out. That causes the 23 to get a little contact there. Josh Smith, nowhere to go. We see Grunwald trying to check up, gets caught up in it. Pegleg with the big contact. And then Todd Schott coming through as well. Pegleg, though, up on top of Aaron Adcock. And we see Alex Veith get a little piece of that as well. So a lot of cars, a lot of trucks tore up in this one here. You see Alex Veith, 48 of Lottridge, caught up in this one as well.
The other thing too to mention is Chuck and Aaron. They're battling for points right now. There's only a 9-point difference between the bubble and Charles Stevens back in the eighth spot in points. But these guys don't race clean. They got to start thinking to themselves: are they really going to make the round of 4 if they don't try and keep it clean during this race?
Yeah, this is looking at the point standings. Really, there is nobody safe in points right now. From second to last is only separated by 10 points. Sure, Zach has a 14-point advantage over Garrett Kinder in second, but Kinder and Chuck are tied with 3,080 points. Christian Dedman, 3,079. Aaron Adcock, 75. Jeff Paisley, 72. Spencer Gate, 72. Charles Stevens, 70. So these guys are racing for every point that they can get as the lights on the pace car are back off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing, and Zach's going to choose the inside this time, putting his father Sam behind him, and Josh Oswald up into the 5th position already. Tyler Rice, talking about some big movers. Tyler Rice already up 10 spots up into the 11th position. Kyle Roberts up 10 spots as well. There's some big movers through the field already. Zach brings them slowly down to that restart zone. And again, we'll take it high in the sky from the iRacing blimp. Green flag is back in the air, and a great jump for Zach and Sam, and Josh Oswald, look at that, also getting around Kinder. Kinder having a horrible restart. Jason Day is trying to get around that 13 machine. Here comes Brandon Wallace up into the mix as well. They work their way through turns 3 and 4, and those two Hoosier machines, 1st and 2nd right now. Further back, Brandon Wallace now diving down through the dog leg here, trying to get around Jeff Paisley. Wallace not up in the points right now, but Paisley is. And Paisley's trying to get every point he can to move on to the round of 4. Just saw, it looked like Lokovitz might have just caught the wall a little bit. He started to fall back just a little bit. Now we see the damage to the right side of that truck as he was up in the wall down the backstretch. Here comes Ken Farmer trying to get by. As we're working lap number 13, Jason Day has Josh Oswald all over his back bumper as they come down the backstretch.
What's crazy about the Jason Day and Josh Oswald battle right now, Jason was a little faster on the last lap when he did get around Oswald, but Oswald is kind of just learning as he goes from these guys in the top 3. Oswald, Jason Day, Sam Weststein, Zach Weststein. These guys are all the top 2, top 3 are pretty comfortable with these short tracks, but Josh Oswald and sorry, I'm skipping, but Garrett Kinder are kind of learning from these guys as they go, as they know Zach and Sam are really fast working together on the same team, but also learning from Jason Day, who made the move all the way up from Outlaws this season up to the Rebels League. And as these guys get more track time tonight, you're going to see, I believe, Josh Oswald get a lot faster as he learns how to kind of form a little bit of a strategy and learn behind people, and then he gets really quick towards the end of the race.
For sure, as we see, looking out the back bumper of Sam Weststein, Jason Day trying to get down to the inside here. Not quite going to be, actually he's going to get there. How can he hold it? We've seen that high side be pretty strong there tonight as he's going to get right by. Here comes Josh Oswald trying to make his way by as well. Josh Oswald looking up to the high side. And Sam having to give away that second position. Garrett Kinder starting to move his way back forward as well. And Sam Weststein still holding on back there. Garrett Kinder now looking underneath Josh Oswald as Oswald comes off the wall just a little bit. No contact though, as Garrett Kinder's going to get by cleanly. Although Oswald is going to put the fight on the high side. Again, Oswald not in the playoffs here, but Still running for pride and wants to get that win here in the Truck Series. And caution is out. Looks like Kyle Roberts around on the backstretch. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage rewind. Let's hope these cows don't get too tired, huh, Kevin? So we can see what happened to Kyle back here. You know, Kyle had an issue earlier in the race, getting loose by himself. Oh, just catches the wall, pushes up the track, keeps it off of Jason Lotridge. Mike Veith doing a good job getting by as well. So just a single car accident, and the 35 is back on track.
Like I was talking about before the race, when we were talking about whether it's loose or tight, these cars really do get tighter throughout the run, and these guys are going to feel it. Tires didn't really help us. It just kind of felt like the truck was molding even for a fixed race. These trucks just kind of felt like they were molding into a tighter setup, and it really felt like the grip was a little overwhelming.
Yeah, pretty much the whole field coming down on pit road. A couple trucks staying out. Aaron Adcock, Todd Schott, Peg Leg Feltz, all staying out on track as Zach Wittstein's going to have that #1 pit stall. See if I can get a good view here of the race off of pit road. Zach gets off first, Jason Day second. Kinder's going to sneak ahead of Josh Oswald for third. And Sam Wittstein, Brandon Wallace, Jeff Paisley, Chris Stevens Jr., Jesse Necula all off pit road as the rest of the field files out right now. But
much as I want to question this decision, our race winner from Cup Series last night, Steve Loving, did the same strategy. He had a caution about 10 laps later, and he ended up getting fresh tires outside of everybody else's strategy, and it helped him get to the win last night.
yeah, Aaron Adcock, Todd Schott, Chuck Pegleg Feltz all came down on lap 8. And looks like they all took tires on lap 8. So we'll have to see how the strategy pays off here. A couple comments here in the chat. Ratchet Miller says, man, these fellas racing like it's the final lap, lap after lap. Yeah, that's how this is at Phoenix, especially with that dog leg. You try to get as much track position as you can. Kevin Kier says, Mr. Hall, is there a way to highlight playoff drivers on the sidebar? I wish there is. Unfortunately, I have not been able to figure out the coding to get that done. So I do apologize for that. We have, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, and I do apologize. It says, go Cuzzy. And Kevin Kinder says, cows are holding up fine for now. We will see if we have to get some water for the cows in a little bit.
I got a bucket of water ready. I'll come give you some water, Mr. Kevin Kinder. I'll bring some water over. We'll get those cows watered and hopefully get Kinder up to the front.
Kinder, again, he didn't have a good run here. Even though he's 14 points behind Zach, he's only 10 points ahead of 8th place Charles Stevens.
And kind of point out before these guys take the green flag, I think Kinder learned a little bit last night that he's got to play it a little safe, especially with how tight the points race is. I definitely think you're going to see Kinder be conservative, maybe race for the end of it. He might try and race for that win, but I think you're going to see him be more conservative tonight.
As the pace car pulls on the pit road and we get ready for the long wait back to the restart zone. Then we'll get the restart from high in the sky above the racetrack from the iRacing blimp. Because I have a feeling with these cars out here on older tires, we're going to see some big jumps down to the dog leg as green flag is out. A good jump from Aaron Adcock. And here they go, spreading out through the dog leg. See Brandon Wallace all the way down almost to the inside wall. Zach Wettstein already up to the back bumper of Todd Schott. seeing, I know you said tires weren't too much of an advantage, but we're seeing Zach out there on those fresh tires making the move on the high side here. As they all fan out through the dog leg yet again. I know I brought it up already once, but I know there is still a little bit of bad blood between Zach and Aaron here after North Wilkesboro, so we'll see how this race is between them. It looks like Aaron's going to give him all the room as he's going to work all the way down to the bottom of the dog leg and give the lead back to Zach Wettstein. Although here comes Aaron Adcock trying to push it back down on the bottom with a crossover. But we've seen that high lane really making the work easy for these guys. So now Aaron Adcock's going to have to try to defend the 13 of Garrett Kinder.
The other thing to notice too is the tires do matter, but the strategy and how you race these trucks tonight are also going to be a huge strategy. Sam Wettstein came in for tires, and he just doesn't seem like he can find the ground now, not being able to follow Zach. So maybe questioning his line a little bit when he's going into the corner, and just continues to fall back through the pack.
Yeah, Sam just doesn't look like he's comfortable here on the high side and in the dirty air. He's trying to get himself back up to the front, running around Brandon Wallace and Jeff Paisley. Paisley is a playoff driver, trying to move his way up into the next round. And I will make sure, Kevin Kinder, to go through under our next yellow and highlight where our playoff drivers are running. We've got Jason Day trying to get around Aaron Adcock now to take over that third position. I do have to say, Aaron Adcock is doing a good job staying out there and trying to keep up with these guys. So this pit strategy for him definitely working, staying out, trying to get back on cycle with the rest of the field.
I think what you'll see too is Chuck Phelps fell to 6th, and he's kind of holding up the field just a little bit on those older tires, and I think that's really helping out those guys that are in front of him that stayed out on tires throughout this run, because as they hold them up, they burn tires. So I don't think you're going to see Aaron, and I don't think you're going to see Todd Chuck.
The 84 is around. That's Jesse Nekula losing it there by himself up on the high side. Caution is back out. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage rewind as we see what happened to Jesse here. I don't know if there was contact from another vehicle or if he just lost it all by himself. Oh, looks like there was a little bit of contact here. We'll roll this one back for you. Well, it looks like he's racing hard with the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. And as they get down into the corner, Jesse has to check up a little bit to keep from running into the back of Sam, and the 88 just doesn't see the checkup. Makes a little contact with the 84 of Nekula. Sends Nekula spinning up into the wall. Great job for Josh Lokovitz to avoid that.
And Charles Stevens did try to come over the comms and apologize to Nekula. Nekula didn't really respond too kindly, but I think you'll see some clean racing between them the rest of the race. I think Jesse, just the heat of the moment, a little aggravated. Pretty decent run at the beginning of this race, but he'll find his way up to the front and he'll forget all about it.
For sure. Let's take a look and spotlight our highlight our playoff drivers now. First place, Zach Wettstein, your current points leader, running at the top of the field. Then Garrett Kinder, sitting back in second. Aaron Adcock, currently in fourth, another one of your playoff drivers. Pegleg Feltz, back in seventh. Jeff Paisley sitting back in ninth. Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88. Currently last in points at the moment, trying to make his way back up through the field. Christian Dedman right behind him in 12th. Spencer Gay running back in 14th. And that would be all 8 of your playoff drivers. So all of your playoff drivers currently sitting in the top 15.
And Zach's just come over comms. He's going to take the outside lane again. And I think mentioning all these playoff drivers, they're all clean racers, really good racers. But if you're not up front tonight, if you're not in that top pack, I think you're going to get stuck in traffic and you're going to have a bad night for the points.
Oh, for sure. As these guys are going to try to do everything they can to get themselves up into position. Try to get the win here and move on to next week. They were talking about, one person was talking about how they're racing every race, or every lap, like it's the last lap. And they kind of have to, because track position is so important here. It's so hard to pass.
I'd just like to mention before you call these guys to the next green, it might seem like they're racing pretty hard, but the reason being is this race goes by really quick. 100 laps on a mile. It's a pretty quick race.
That's for sure. Is we're getting it lead back to the restart here. Screen glitches out. I do apologize for that. Green flag is back in the air. Great jump for Zach over Kinder yet again as we take a look from the blimp. Everybody's spreading out here. Here comes Jason Day trying to take a look at Garrett Kinder. Not going to happen though. It's Aaron Adcock now holding his own out there now on this restart, able to get his tires cooled down to the same temperatures as everybody. So now it's going to equalize just a little bit. Aaron Adcock driving all the way down through that dog leg, trying to keep Brandon Wallace behind him.
And I believe one of the hardest parts of this race tonight is you're going to see a few guys, they're going to be... And we got another caution out, Josh.
And yet again, it's the 35 of Kyle Roberts, who looks like he just reset back to the pits. I think he might be done for the night. But that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. We take a look to see what happened to Kyle Roberts. Running down underneath Ken Farmer here on that low lane. And just washes right up the track into the side of Ken Farmer. And Mike Veith barely sneaking through there.
Lucky man. That was multiple times tonight.
That was a lucky spin for Veith, as we see. Looking from the blimp, I think he missed Kyle by millimeters here. Wow. Incredible.
So, Josh, what do you think the pit strategy is here? Do you take them, or do you think just the guys that pitted really early in this race are going to come down?
I think we're going to see everybody stay out here. We've only had a handful of green flag laps, so I do think that Zach will probably stay out here. Which he does. And I just realized that I had the wrong logos for this race.
We did have a couple takers. We had Brandon Wallace, Jesse Necula, Tyler Rice, and Josh Smith. Josh Smith stuck on pit road right now. Not sure really what's going on with him tonight, but he was running pretty decent. Maybe just got a little busy in real life and had to call it a night.
I believe he had some damage to the right side of that car from catching the wall. So I believe he might be in there getting that fixed up here tonight.
Oh yeah, getting that damage fixed. Trying not to use that fast repair if he hasn't used it already, and definitely gonna try and keep that one for later in the race if he gets any troubles in the later part of this race.
But you want to try to save that reset for as long as you can. As you know, anything can happen in these races, and saving that as long as you can is a huge advantage.
Zach's going to take this outside line again on this restart that's been working out for him. I think the biggest issue for these guys that are restarting, they're trying to hug up against Zach on these restarts. I think you roll the bottom on the restart and get a better launch. We noticed during the Outlaw race that the bottom line was working a couple times, and definitely during the Cup race, everyone was picking the bottom. I think hugging up next to Zach probably isn't a favorable thing to do for Kinder, but if he does it, he's got to be on it, be ready for Zach to hit that pedal and go, go, go.
And we saw Zach get some great launches on that high lane earlier. Kinder just not able to kind of estimate when Zach's going to go, so might be a smart move up there tonight. As the pace car pulls off and we get the long ride alone down the backstretch. There's that great view of just how much that pit lane is cut into the track here. So as they come back to the restart zone, Zach immediately back on the loud pedal, back to the gas. Kinder with a really good restart this time as they all fan out through the dog leg as they're 3 wide, a little further back, able to hold on to it. Jason Day, though, up to the inside of Garrett Kinder to take away that second position. Great run for the 52 tonight as Kinder stuck up on that high side. There's a little bit of momentum, almost falls back into Aaron Adcock. Here comes Josh Oswald underneath Adcock here to try to take that 4th position away. Yellow flag is back out. You see Mike Veith slow along with Spencer Gay, one of our championship drivers. So just not able to get their momentum going here tonight. See if we can see what happened to bring this one out. Looks like it happened up in front of, now it's happened with Spencer Gay just in front of Mike. See if we can see what happened to Spencer here. Running with Brett Grunwald, and oh, the 5 just tags the 69. Mickey Isaac gets a little piece of it as well. Mike Veith doing a good job slowing down to stay out of it. Just a quick spin cycle for that 69 machine, and he keeps going.
I think Mike Veith's going to have to win a new award tonight, Josh. We're going to have to award him the Miss Him a Lot award tonight, because that man has been around every caution, but he hasn't been the one causing them, and he's been avoiding them pretty well tonight.
For sure, and I'm a sucker for paint jobs. I love the paint job on this car that Spencer Gay is running. Very reminiscent of the old Daytona USA arcade game with the Hornet paint job on the side, and I just love that.
And you know what else I love that looks really good? This track, man, looks beautiful, and that car looks that truck even looks better on it. So
no takers on the pit road just yet. See the wave by going around. That is the 18 of Jim McClendon. Josh Smith on the pit road. Looks like he's going to get a little bit more of his damage fixed. Well, he's coming off a pit road. Kevin Kinder asks EOL for Rex. Doesn't look like they've been enforcing that here tonight. Ratchet Miller says, pretty sure gonna need to cake them cows when you water them. And Kevin Kinder says, not a track for a long green flag. We saw a long green flag run in the Outlaw race tonight. Unfortunately, tonight it just seems like not able to get that long green flag going. Was hoping to be able to pump up the intensity on this race, or if we were able to do in the Outlaw race, but as it seems right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get that opportunity.
And before we come around again, these guys, I know a lot of these guys in the points are a little nervous, but even the guys outside of the points get a little nervous during these races, especially in the back. They don't want to intentionally wreck any of the guys that have chances for the playoffs, but if I'm one of these guys that's running in the back, not playing for the playoffs, I'd run them clean, but run it like a regular race. These guys are out here trying to earn a playoff spot, not have it given it to them. So I think they should run their regular race, not be so strenuous on the wheel tonight or the pedals, and go out there and try and win it.
I agree 100%. I mean, that's what you want to do, is go out there and race and win races. It doesn't matter if you're in the playoffs or not. But Zach Wetstein again choosing that high side when Jason Day down on the bottom. And I got to give credit to Aaron Adcock with those older tires still out there, able to make it work. Ratchet Miller says exactly, race hard or go home. So as we get ready to re-rack them, restack them, refire them here at Phoenix, again, Wetstein choosing that high side here on the restart. See how they fan out this time as the green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. And Kinder right down to the wall there, almost catching that inside wall. Look at the 4 wide behind. Josh Lokovitz, Christian Deadman, Brandon Wallace were just 3 and 4 wide back there. Ooh, almost some contact with Peg Leg Phelps. Garrett Kinder is trying to get around Aaron Adcock here to take away the 3rd position. And Josh Oswald right there as well, trying to follow Kinder right on through.
And I told this man that I would highlight him a little bit tonight, but he seems to keep falling down the pack, and that's Sam Wetstein. Having a hard time getting through the pack again and getting stuck in traffic. He's got his bottom line that he wanted, but having a really rough time trying to make his way back up to the front.
Ooh, almost some contact between Sam and Lokovitz there, as Brandon Wallace is right there in the mix as well. Sam able to get by Lokovitz now and continues to move forward. Garrett Kinder was not able to get around Aaron Adcock. He's going to fall back into the 4th position. Pegleg starting to move his way back through the pack. Pegleg currently up 7 spots from where he started, and trying to make his way back through the field as we're just approaching halfway. Our biggest mover tonight so far, though, is Todd Schott in this 00. Currently up 13 positions up into the 6th position. So another driver that came in on lap number 8, trying to use the strategy here to keep himself up front, and so far being able to do it.
Talked about at the beginning of the broadcast.
Oh, what around Jeff Paisley, around on the backstretch hard into the inside wall. No caution though. As that truck is done, we see the smoke billowing from the engine here. Again, no caution. Let's take a quick replay here. See if we can see what happened to Paisley. Paisley, catches the outside wall, then the inside wall all by himself, and tough break for that 7 machine, who is now on the pit road and going to lose a ton of positions. Zach Wedstein has the 52 of Jason Day all over his back bumper. Haven't said...
And as I talked about earlier, Josh, those cars feel really more tight during the long runs than they do loose. And I know we haven't gotten many green flag laps, but you got to start to question if it's a little too tight. Maybe these guys ought to start shifting down a little bit.
We're right along with Zach here. Not shifting just yet, but he's got the 52 of Jason Day looking down to the inside. And I was going to say, now Zach hasn't had too much challenges through the season. He's really dominated the series, but currently has Jason Day breathing down his throat. As these two are starting to pull away from Aaron Adcock in that third position. Oh, Jason Day just barely caught the wall there coming off the corner, but doesn't slow his momentum down. Now the field's really starting to spread out. Looks like we might be able to get a little bit of a green flag run. Side by side here, Sam Wedstein continuing his march forward here as he's trying to get around the 99 of Brandon Wallace. Aaron Adcock under attack now from the 13 of Garrett Kinder.
A little bit of a quiet sleeper coming up through the field right now. Josh Lokenvitz is up 8 spots in that 79 truck, slowly making his way up the field and kind of just being quiet about it, trying to avoid all the accidents that sometimes he gets caught up in, a little bit of bad luck, but hopefully tonight he can keep it clean, avoid some wrecks, and get a top 10 finish tonight.
And Aaron catches the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow Kinder to finally squeeze on by that 23 machine. And now we got some green flag racing. Guy, how about we do one of my favorite segments here? Let's pump up the intensity.
Go ahead and reel it up, man. That's okay, I'll mute myself.
Up front, we see Zach Wedstein and the 52. We're battling pretty hard, but now Jason Day's starting to fall back just a little bit. Garrett Kinder has gotten around Aaron Adcock and is starting to pull away from that third position. But I got to wonder when Aaron Adcock and Todd Schott and Chuck Peglick-Phelps are going to have to come in and take some tires.
I'm not so worried about the tires here. They weren't too bad when I did my 60-lap run during the race in Outlaws, but I'm more worried about if they're pushing it on fuel or pit mat early.
Back here we got a big battle going on between Josh Lokovitz, Mickey Isaac, and Christian Dedman. Christian Dedman, one of our playoff drivers here, trying to advance on to the round of 8 and not having the greatest of runs right now to move himself forward.
You see these guys fanning out, trying to get these passes going, but they're really hurting themselves going into these. This what is now turn 1 and turn 2 is that outside is the preferred method on how to get around this track. You might have to stick in the nose to get someone on the inside, but you won't get the drive off as you would on that outside lane.
Ratchet Miller says these fellas doing some awesome driving. Several trucks are stepping out. These boys are just dirt tracking the hell out of it, and they are. They're doing a great job as Christian Dedman does get around both Lokovitz and Isaac to move himself up into the 11th position. Josh Oswald and Todd Schott going at it here. And Todd Schott's going to move up into the 5th position around Josh Oswald. And up at the front, we've got some drivers. These two right here have been trading lap times back and forth. I'll pull up the lap time ticker between the two, and you see, it seems like every other lap, one driver's just a little bit quicker than the other. That lap by Wettstein was just a little bit quicker than Day. Previous lap, Day was just a little bit quicker than Wettstein. So Zach really starting to run that really high line now, almost up against the wall, and I'm wondering what he's doing up there, trying to save fuel, not save fuel, but save tires, or trying to just keep that momentum up as he runs right down against the yellow stripe through turns 3 and 4. Oh, Zach had a little connection issue there. Blank out for a second.
It looks like Jason Day is doing a little bit of work every single lap trying to catch him, but Zach's truck all season, this Hoosier Motorsports truck just seems to get quicker and quicker every weekend, and as he bites for that championship this season, you gotta wonder, man, is he going to be able to hold it for next season, or is he just worried about finishing out this season and seeing where next season comes when it comes around?
Still, we're hearing Zach still not shifting yet as they go around the lap car of Josh Smith. We take a look from Jason Day's nose here. Jason also not shifting yet.
It's a really big surprise there because during the race, there was an amazing drive off in that high line, Josh, as we've got another caution out.
Caution is out on track, and it looks like it might be Jason Lottridge with a lot of damage to that truck. Not driving straight. That truck is crab walking something fierce right now. I'm going to go ahead and guess that he was involved in that one. Looks like him and Tyler Rice, as that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. As we see Jason Lottridge running around Alex Veith and Jim McClendon. Oh, Veith shoves it 3 wide. Man, hard contact there. We're going to rewind that and take another look at that one from the blimp, because it looked like Veith shoved it in there 3 wide. Lottridge kind of pushes up the track a little bit. McClendon right there side by side. It looks like Veith thought McClendon was going to give him a little bit more room. At the same time, Jason Lottridge slapped the wall, so hard contact for Lottridge. That definitely hurt that rear end. As you saw, the truck was crab walking. Tyler Rice caught up in this as well. See Mike Veith going down and slapping that inside wall, but avoiding contact with other vehicles. And now everybody has come down pit road.
They change up the game there, Josh. They're good to go. Fresh tires. Maybe help out Jason Day. He seems to be really good at the beginning of the runs on these fresh tires. Maybe give Zach a little bit of a run for his money and try and take this win.
You know who this really helps out, though? Aaron Adcock in the 23, Pegleg Feltz in the 8, Todd Schott in the 00. Those are 3 cars. The last time they were on pit road before this yellow was on lap number 8. So now they're on the same fuel and the same tires as our front runners. So now they're right back on that same strategy. So a great call for those guys to get themselves in position to try to do something here at the end.
And the other thing, too, to mention about Aaron Adcock is he was off strategy a little bit in the Senate Cup Series last night. And it worked out for him. He ended up finishing 3rd. Had a great race, clean race, stayed out of the accidents, and he even came from the back. I think at the end of the race he was up 9 spots, so maybe he knows something a little bit these guys in front of him might not know, and these fresh tires might help him battle for the lead or at least get a top 3 out of this.
So real quick, let's take a look, see where our playoff drivers are standing as we see Zach Wedstein in that first position. Garrett Kinder sitting back in 3rd. Aaron Adcock back in 5th. Pegleg Feltz back in 8th. Christian Dedman in 9th. Charles Stevens Jr. back in 14th. Spencer Gay back in 16th. Jeff Paisley back in 19th. So Jeff Paisley back on the lead lap after having that engine issue after making hard contact with the inside wall. Hopefully he can see if he can rebound here and get himself back up towards the front. As the pace car has pulled off, we got that long ride back to the restart zone. And I think now we're going to start seeing some real aggressive driving here. Jack Wetzane to the gas, green flag back in the air, and oh, it looks like somebody missed a shift as Brandon Wallace checked up hard in the field there. Todd Schott ran into the back of him. Oh, just felt like peg leg is around. Sam Wetzstein involved as well. Oh, Mike Veith's luck finally ran out, as he was caught up in that one as well. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we take a look to see. I saw Chuck go around. I believe he might have gone around off the front bumper of Christian Dedman. We're going to have to take a look here at the replay. Dedman down to the inside. Gets a little loose, pushes up the track a little bit right into the quarter panel of that 75 machine. Todd Schott getting a piece of it. Sam Wetzstein a piece of it as well. Alex Veith, hard contact with Sam there. McClendon gets a piece of it. And as I mentioned, Mike Veith's luck finally runs out. He is not able to avoid that one. So tough break for Chuck. Chuck's going to have to go a lap down now. And it's going to be tough for him. Let's see what we have up here in the chat. We've got I'm going to try to say this right, Nadegi. So he had the dip. How's it going? And 19th. Yeah, Paisley fell back to 19th. He got loose, caught the inside wall, blew his motor, and had to get around and get that repaired. Ratchet Miller says, clean them off, let them rip, boys. They tried, and tough race in there, so tough luck for a couple drivers.
You know who's really lucky right now, though? Jesse Nekula, after that huge accident earlier, has made himself back up into the top 10. Like I said before, if he can get up there, have a really good run to finish off this race, he's going to forget that accident, and he's going to be happy with how tonight worked out for him.
That's for sure. Is currently back up in the 9th position and continuing to propel himself forward.
The only thing I'm going to wish here for Josh, I want to see these guys finish it out in the green flag with some green flag laps. We had a pretty decent one just a little bit ago, and I think these guys can clean it up a little bit, get some green flag runs going, and we could definitely see some good racing. I never want to see this end under a caution. They got a few chances as a green-white checkered, but I want to see a strategy run right here. See who's got the best wheelman behind their truck, and see them finish this out under green.
We've got some of the best wheelmen up at the front right now between Zach Wedstein and Jason Day, showing they can wheel it. Garrett Kinder up here as well. Josh Oswald back in 5th. We know he can wheel a car with all those championships. Although it must be kind of hard to hold the wheel with all the hardware that he has.
You know, probably going to catch up to him one of these days. Chair might feel a little heavy one of these days, and might not be able to wheel it as much as he used to, but he's going to enjoy all those championships when he looks back one day. This might be a simulated race, but man, he's racing against some good guys that can wheel a real car and a simulated car around a track.
For sure. I wonder if he's wearing that Infinity Gauntlet as he's trying to race right now.
Probably wearing 2 of them.
Well, pace car pulls off on the pit road. Again, we've got that long wait back to the restart zone where Zach Wedstein again chooses that high side. Putting Jason Day down on the bottom. And you know what? That might actually be a good move, because that allows Zach to get that good run and then pinch down into the dog leg, trying to take that advantage away from Jason. So as the green flag is back in the air, and we'll see them spread down again, down to this dog leg. Now Christian Dedman up into the 7th position, trying to race his way into that final 8 next week, or final 4 next week, excuse me.
We talked about earlier, Aaron Adcock on fresh tires gets past Kinder on the outside. I think he's going to give Jason Day and Zach Wedstein a battle for their money.
Yeah, now Kinder all the way down through the that dog leg, and we got another caution on track. And it looks like might have been the 5 of Brett Grunwald involved and Josh Smith. No, well, Grunwald was involved, but Josh Smith was not. We'll take a look at the replay here. And going into the corner here, Grunwald pushes up the track just a little bit, has to get out of it to keep from pushing up too much. Jeff Paisley just nowhere to go. Catches the back of that 5 machine. And a couple teammates there getting into each other.
Zach Wedstein just came over the radio with the spotter, and they got a little confirmation from the flagman. His arm's getting a little tired up there. Might have to quit. Put you up there, Josh, and have you wave the flag for the rest of the race.
Ratchet Miller says there's no holds barred. Pin it and hope it sticks. Get her done, number 13. And Kinder's having a good run. Kinder really just needs to have a good finish. He doesn't need to win the race. He just has to finish ahead of 3 other playoff drivers, really. And right now he's doing a good job of that. He's got Zach Wettstein, who is the leader. We know he wasn't going to. It would be almost impossible to finish ahead of him unless Zach had some major issues. Aaron Adcock currently running in second, in a position to transfer on to next week. And Kinder just running back there in fourth, exactly what he needs to do to propel himself to next week.
The thing is, little insight on next season for Josh and all the guys out there that are watching, all the ladies and all the kids. Next season of Rebels and Outlaws will have multiple weeks of playoff running, so these guys won't have to be so tight-knit, and they'll have a win-in-your-end kind of thing.
That will be amazing to watch. So as they run right now, your top four moving on, and again, this is as of right now. This does not mean that this is official. Zach Wettstein, Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder, and Christian Dedman would be your top four as they run right now. But again, we're going to go green flag with about 16 laps to go. That's a lot of time for anything to happen. Again, Wettstein chooses that high lane for the restart. That's been his bread and butter all race long, seems like. So when we take the green flag, we will have just 16 laps to go to settle it. 16 laps to go to see who moves on to the round of 4 to race for a championship next week at Las Vegas. I think, again, you're going to see some very aggressive restart here. If we take a look back from the blimp, watch for some of these guys in the back to really push the issue, especially through the dogleg here. Zach Wettstein immediately back to the gas. It actually spreads the field out quite a bit as they come across the line. Day, though, right there, keeps Zach from really running that dogleg. Now Zach's got to worry about Jason Day getting the good launch off of turn number 2. Garrett Kinder now looking at Aaron Adcock here as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Aaron really is able to outbrake Kinder into the corner, though. And now Adcock is looking to set his sights on Jason Day. Well, further back, you see Christian Dedman again passed by Jesse Necula. It's another point away from Dedman. Charles Stevens Jr. now up ahead of Dedman. So that would move Charles Stevens up into the playoffs, up into the top 4 next week as they run. So again, things are changing on the fly.
What you're really starting to see is these guys aren't really worried about saving those tires. They're not really worried about saving gas. What they're really worried about is the positioning of the race and trying to race around these guys that aren't in the playoffs. A few of them a little faster than some of the guys that are in the playoffs, but when it comes down to speed here, I don't think it's really going to matter at the end how fast you were if you won the race tonight. I think it's going to end up if you end up in the championship race next week. Basically, all I can say is around the whole situation, if you're in a comfortable spot in the points and you already kind of know how it's going, I'd start easing off just a little bit, not worry about getting my truck torn up.
For sure, and I actually just redid the math in my head. Christian Dedman is ahead of Charles Stevens, even though Charles Stevens is 2 positions ahead of him. Charles Stevens is 8 points behind Dedman coming in, so Dedman is currently still in that 4th position as they run right now. It looked like Jason Day was battling or challenging Zach for the lead here, but doing a wise move of kind of backing out, not getting into Zach, not ruining his playoff chances. As these guys are comfortable just running right now, as when we cross the line this time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. Zach Wetstein continues to lead over Jason Day. Does Jason have anything for Zach? Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder running third and fourth, kind of just on cruise control right now, which is exactly what you were saying.
Yep, and I think you'll see that kind of stay the same with these guys stay green. I am seeing Christian's having a really tough time, keeps falling back as Spencer Gay's trying to get around him on the inside, but Christian really pushing his luck right now, not getting in a rhythm, and kind of hurting his playoff chances of going on to the championship race next week. I think he needs to get into a little bit of a rhythm these last few laps and not get passed by anyone, because you don't want it to come down to those last lap and you don't make it in on points.
Yeah, Christian Dedman currently has a bit of an advantage over Jeff Paisley, Spencer Gay, and Charles Stevens. Where's Pegleg? Pegleg is still on pit road, so we're going to have to say that Pegleg's chances at the top four are done. One driver who's not on cruise control, this 17 of Josh Oswald. Trying to get his way up to the front with just a few laps to go. Not in the championship hunt, but wants to have a good finish here.
And I think you do. If Josh Oswald would have ran the whole season and not missed a couple weeks, I definitely think you would have seen him battling in this top four tonight.
Jason Lottridge now battling with Alex Veith. It's for 13th to 14th. But right behind him is Jeff Paisley, and that's why I highlighted this, because Jeff Paisley also is trying to drive himself up to the front here, trying to get through traffic, trying to keep his playoff chances alive here. But running back in 15th, it's going to be tough for him to get back up towards the front as he's trying to make a move on Alex Veith. Not going to be able to do it. Does get around Jason Lottridge, but his playoff chances are slipping away as we have just 5 laps to go and Zach crosses the line this time.
Aaron Adcock is starting to reel him in. He's starting to reel up Jason Day, trying to fight for that second spot. Maybe he doesn't know that he's comfortably in the playoffs right now to move on to the championship, or maybe he just wants to, as we got another caution out.
Oh, and no, it's exactly who didn't want to see it. Jeff Paisley wrecked down on the inside here. We were talking about his playoff chances slipping away, and now his playoff chances have ended. We'll see what happened to Paisley here as he was running right here with Alex Veith. Jason Lottridge. Oh, him and Jason Lottridge make some contact. I don't think he realized that Lottridge had the run on the outside. And Paisley right down into the inside wall, and tough break for that 7 truck.
And as we see 2 playoff guys tonight getting caught up in a little bit of too much pack racing tonight, and definitely sucks for Chuck, sucks for Jeff, but I know those guys are 2 strong, hard racers, and they'll be back next season to try and fight for a championship again.
Yeah, Jeff Paisley was in our top 4 last season, and looking to continue that trend, but unfortunately will be knocked out of the playoffs as of right now. And as they run, as I mentioned before, as they run, Zach Wetstein, Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder, and Christian Dedman are currently your top 4 in points as they run right now. And you're right, I don't think some of these guys realize, I don't think Aaron Adcock really realizes that he's locked in, because he's been running so hard and he's trying to get himself back up to the front, where he can just ride and, comfortably finish third. The points reset next week. It's not like you have bonus points going into next week. Whoever finishes highest next week is the champion. So for guys like Aaron Adcock, I know Garrett Kinder's probably sitting there I just need to finish this race. So he's just kind of on cruise control, which we've kind of seen. Aaron, though, kind of surprised me that he's trying to push himself forward and would risk having an issue and knocking himself out of the playoffs.
And as these guys get ready to take this first green-white checkered, do you wonder if maybe the push is going to be a little too hard from the back and they're going to cause something big that might ruin some playoff chances? I hope it doesn't happen. I hope these guys that aren't in the playoffs race these guys clean, and but I hope at the same time they don't let people go by. I want to see a clean, hard race towards the end on this green-white checkered, but I don't want to see it too hard where you see a big accident and a bunch of playoff guys get jumbled up and don't know who's in.
For sure. And Zach Wittstein now choosing the inside for this restart. Maybe he thinks that he should choose the inside to throw a big block down on Aaron Adcock, who you know is going to take that dog leg through the corner and try to get some positions here.
I think the other thing that he might be thinking too is Jason Day did get down pretty good and made it hard for Zach to get down on that dog leg during the restart. Maybe Jason, he's a little scared Jason's going to do it again and he's going to try and block that inside.
So the pace car pulls off on the pit road. We'll look from the eye in the sky again for this restart as we're coming to the most exciting words in racing, green, white checker. Zach is going to lead him back down to the restart zone. Green flags back in the air. Zach with a great jump here on Jason Day. Here comes Aaron Adcock looking down to the inside of Jason Day. Josh Oswald all the way down to the bottom. And I hear some wrecking in the back. Charles Stevens Jr. has reset and jumped to pit lane. No caution as they work their way down the backstretch. Ooh, Kinder almost gets into it with Aaron Adcock there. He's got Josh Oswald all over the back bumper. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. And Kinder, you know, if I was Kinder, I would just let Oswald by. Oswald is trying to get by, and, you know, you don't want to wreck trying to battle for that position as Aaron Adcock is all over the back bumper of Jason Day as they come through turns 3 and 4. Does Day have anything for Wittstein? No, he doesn't. Zach, as he comes across the line, Zach Wittstein will be your winner. Jason Day second, Aaron Adcock third, Garrett Kinder comes home fourth, Josh Oswald in fifth, and that will be your final four for next week. Zach Wittstein, Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder, and Christian Dedman. Zach Wittstein immediately dives down on the pit road because you know where he's going. Who needs to celebrate when you can actually go ahead and drive right into victory lane here?
He figured it out this time, Josh.
He did figure it out this time. And I think we're going to have to do our interview with him from victory lane. He's doing a little burnout there in victory lane.
And before we get to the interviews tonight, I just want to push out Todd Schott with the Ray Cobb Hard Charger Award tonight. Did a great job. Started in the 19th, made his way all the way up to 6th. As you called it before, Todd was quiet, made his way up, and got a good finish.
So let's take a quick look at the results. Again, Zach Wittstein is your winner. Jason Day, Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder, Josh Oswald round out the top 5. Then Todd Schott in 6th, Jesse Necula 7th. Kinder coming up in the victory lane to celebrate as well. Where was I? Mickey Isaac back in 8th. Brandon Wallace, Josh Lokovich, your top 10. Christian Dedman, 11th. Alex Veith, 12th. Brett Grunwald, Tyler Rice, Jason Lottridge, your top 15. Spencer Gay, Josh Smith, Charles Stevens Jr., Jeff Paisley, and Sam Wittstein round out the top 20. And Jim McLennan, Peg Blake Feltz, Mike Veith, Ken Farmer, Kyle Roberts, and Tyler Gackey round out your field as we get ready for more wrecking in victory lane there.
They found him. They did find him, Josh, and they're gonna let him know that he can't hide from the carnage at the end of the race.
Oh man, that's awesome. Let's take a look here, see if we have anybody, if we got our guys in the waiting room. We do. Let's bring in, well, first off, our post-race interviews tonight are, I don't know if you know this guy, brought to you by Shappy Edits.
Oh, never heard of him before. Yeah, you guys need any
Did
edit
Zach
needs
just
for
get
your
pushed
league?
out of victory lane?
Oh, he did. They didn't want him there. They want to wait till next week at Vegas for him to be there. But if you guys need any editing needs for your leagues, for your highlight videos, always reach out to us at Shappy Edits, and we'll definitely get it done for you.
So let's pull in our third place finisher tonight, Aaron Adcock. Aaron, you got Josh and Kai up in the booth. You got us?
I got you guys.
Man, great run tonight, coming home in third, solidifying your shot into the top four, or the championship four next week at Vegas. That's got to feel pretty good.
It does. It feels really good.
Now, I saw at the end there, you were actually pushing on Jason Day a little bit. Were you trying to take that position away? Did you know you were locked in, or were you just trying to get every point you could just in case?
No, I felt pretty sure that I was locked in where I was running. I knew that I had the points leader in front of me 2 positions and the guy running second right behind me. So I felt pretty good about my chances, only being 5 points behind Peg Leg and Christian Deadman at the start of the race. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind, and I hate that Chuck had a rough night. I was really looking forward to trying to battle with them for this championship next week. But when I saw all that take place, I just was trying to stay cool and collected, and Jason checked up a little bit more than what he had been doing, and that's what I told him as soon as I got in the waiting room. I was like, man, I didn't mean to, give you a little love tap there. It just, you caught me off guard when you stopped like you did.
And Aaron, this is Kai up in the booth. I talked to you last night, man. You told us your struggles that are going on with the family, but good to see you here in the top 3 again, interviewing you again 2 nights in a row. Do you got anybody that you want to thank, any sponsors out there that you want to thank, and any family you want to reach out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the league sponsors here, Holly Heating and Sheet Metal, and Ken Farmer and Kinder Farm and Ranch, and of course Intensity for all the great broadcasting that they do week in and week out. And I appreciate Josh doing these double headers. I know it's not the easiest thing to do on a Sunday night, so I hope we make the racing entertaining enough to make you want to keep coming back every week. And just like to thank Apex Sim Racing Equipment, Jimmy up there. He does a lot to support us and backs us 100%. So I just want to thank him for everything that he does for us, and all my guys over at Dark Horse Motorsports, Po-Man Motorsports, and all my family that watches, my mom and dad, my grandparents, my wife, my little girl, my wife and little girl. That's the backbone behind all this sim racing. So the chances that I get to do this whenever it's nighttime or bath time, it means a lot to me, and I just hope that doing good and competing well is a thank you enough to them for letting me do this. So, but yeah, shout out to Tracy and his family, his wife, her nephew, lost his battle with COVID Wednesday night, and funeral was today, and that's why Tracy couldn't make it. So I was trying to wheel this thing to a top 4 for him, and so hopefully he'll get a shot at it next year. I think he would have been a contender for sure. So everybody in Outlaws is probably tickled to death that he wasn't there tonight, because I think he would have won it personally.
Well, thoughts and prayers for your entire family. And I was wondering why Tracy wasn't there tonight. Now I know, and hopefully everything, the thoughts and prayers with his family here tonight.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it, and thank y'all for a great broadcast tonight.
Again, congratulations on moving on to the Final Four.
Thank you, sir. I hope I get to talk to you next week as a champion. We'll see.
We'll see. As your third place finisher, Aaron Adcock. Let's bring in your second place finisher tonight, Jason Day. Jason, you got Josh and Kai up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, great run tonight. It looks like you might have had something for Zach if you had a long green flag run. That just never happened here tonight. But got to be happy overall with the top 3, you're coming home second.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it, considering I thought wasn't feeling very good about the way the truck was feeling in practice, but it came to me a little bit in qualifying, and the more we ran green flag runs, I kind of got a feel for the line and where the truck needed to be. So I was pretty happy to finish second, considering how good these guys are in this league.
For sure. And, go ahead.
Oh, and Jason, I ran around you a little bit last season, a little bit at the beginning of this season. Always one of my favorite guys to run around, but did you feel like you had enough for Zach, or do you think that Zach kind of had too much for you tonight?
At one point, I thought I did have something for him. That one long run in the middle where we were able to pull away from the field, I felt like I learned a little bit from him. But in 3 and 4, he was better than me in 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 I could gain on him every time. But when we got to 3 and 4, he braked a little bit earlier than me. I don't know if I had the line wrong, but he'd get off that corner just a little bit better. And I don't think I would have had any. It was on the restart. There was one restart where I almost got underneath him, and that was my only shot, I think, the whole race.
Yeah, and coming into the race tonight, did you kind of have a strategy coming in, or did you kind of just want to see how the race failed out? I don't know if you watched any of the Outlaw race to kind of get an idea how the race might have ran tonight.
No real strategy. I was hoping for some long green runs. I feel like that's my strong point. I don't think I would anything for Zach, because I think he was better on long runs, but I didn't really have a strategy. I knew we had 4 extra sets of tires, so I knew if I went any more than 25 laps, I'd probably take a set. But the way the cautions were falling, we didn't really wear them out anyway, so I think I only put 2 sets of tires on the truck tonight.
Well, awesome job tonight with the second place finish. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you got to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast, for the Rebels for putting on, Outlaws for putting on the series. Thank my sponsors, MF Designs, Savage Edge Apparel, McConey Setup Shop, Butt Kicker, FB Button Boxes, Raz Energy, BAM Racing Videos, and of course my teammates at 5 King Motorsports. And again, thanks for having me, and hope to be back for a full season next season.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you.
So that was Jason Day. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Zach Wetstein. Zach, you got Josh and Kai up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, first off, I see you got pushed out of Victory Lane.
Oh, no.
It didn't look like they wanted to let you celebrate out there.
Yeah, man, you saw me. I saw the broadcast. I went straight there because y'all know what's up with these burnouts. You get about a half a turn in and you're getting destroyed. So I was like, might as well just go straight there. And then after I got there, I was like, try a burnout here, and I didn't do too bad there.
Well, awesome job with the win tonight. Kind of dominating. It didn't seem like I noticed in the Outlaw race there was a lot of shifting going on. Didn't seem like you and Jason and Aaron were doing any shifting out there. Was the track a little different tonight? Was the shifting just not the way to go?
I felt like we were never able to get that long of a run that I felt comfortable doing it. And the truck just felt good off the corners, and I didn't want to accidentally, shift into third and spin myself out just out of not having experience doing it. So, I didn't know if Jason was doing it or not, but I just stuck to what I knew because I'd done a long run practice in the practice session, and I hadn't shifted in that run, so I didn't want to do something that I hadn't done yet. And it felt good for the really the only long run we had in that middle portion of the race.
And Zach, teammate up here, Kai Schappert.
Yeah.
It was good to see you up there, buddy. It was good to see the win. Overall, good to see you up there. Dad had a couple issues during the race. He was doing really well during the race, following you, but as soon as he hit traffic and couldn't find you, it seemed like he was struggling just a little bit. Did he tell you anything during the race that might have caught him off guard and made him a little slower? Or do you think it was just kind of not being able to follow you slowed him down a little bit?
Oh, it's unfortunate what happened. I think he was running 9th when he got wrecked, and he was having a nice, clean, solid race and was going to get a top 10 finish, but it's just racing. But he lost some spots on pit road because he was a little slow into his pit box, and I think he lost 2 or 3 spots, and then he got caught up in all that dog leg stuff where you can lose spots there. But he had found his home right on the edge of the top 10 and 9th, and when we would go green, he felt comfortable, and he's getting better. And man, we're going to see him in the top 10, top 5s a lot more. Next week for the last race of the season, and going on to the next season. We're going to do some practicing in the off season, and I think we're going to see him up there winning some races.
Now, before we let you go, I got to ask, when Aaron Adcock stayed out there with those older tires, and he was able to stay with you guys, was that kind of surprising to you, or was the tire fall off just really not that much?
Well, after we had pit on lap 19, my right front was only at like 95, I think. And so that's a part of it. The tires hadn't fallen off too much since, but the cautions along with the tires not falling off too much helped out. I don't know where he ran when we got that long run, but I don't think it really matters there because we had gotten tires by then. But yeah, just, he had a good truck tonight and was able to keep it up there along with those cautions that we got because, as you guys know, we got plenty of them. I think a combination of those things helped him stay up there, and I believe helping him move on to the Championship 4 next week.
That is correct. The Championship 4 next week will be you, Kinder, Coach, and Adcock. So going to have some stiff competition next week at Vegas.
Yeah, it's going to be unpredictable. I mean, Vegas is it's one of those draft tracks where everybody's together for a good 20 laps, and then it starts to separate a little bit. So there's a reason it was picked as the championship race, and it's gonna be stressful in the truck, but it'll be a good show for everybody watching.
For sure. And before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all for broadcasting. You especially doing the double headers every week. I know that's not an easy thing to do. Kai joining him, and you're going to be up here next season, so some good experience for you. Intensity Broadcasting, obviously. The league, the people who run this league, Griff, who took over for Matt a while back, all the admins, all the guys in this series, per usual. It wasn't a great race tonight, caution-wise, but we still, when we got the chance to, we still put on a great race, and so shout out to them. Hall Heating and Sheet Metal, along with Ken Farmer. Thin Blue Line USA, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Southwest T-Shirt Design, Shappy Edits, Shappert, Smeel Racing Designs, Magic Mike Motorsports, Seth Griffith, like I said earlier, Peg Leg Felts and P&J Motorsports, and my mom and dad, lastly.
Well, again, awesome job here tonight, man, and we look forward to seeing what happens next week at Vegas.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You.
So there you have it, your winner tonight, Zach Wetstein. And Kai, that was just an unpredictable race, but exactly kind of what we were expecting to happen. And congrats to Zach and all of our drivers moving on. And it should be an exciting one next week.
I couldn't agree more. I think Zach's going to give him a hell of a run next week, and definitely probably my favorite choice right now to win the championship. But as we said before, anything can happen, and basically it comes down to highest finisher. Points aren't going to matter next week. Staying consistent, staying out of trouble, and being able to be in the highest position at the end of the race is definitely gonna pick out who's going to be our champion next week.
Yeah, and I know you say that, Zach being a strong contender, but we know Kinder likes those 1.5-mile tracks. And he's good at those, and he's good at saving the tires there and working that draft. So, and Aaron Adcock, another one who's, really, really good at those 1.5-mile tracks. Coach has struggled a little bit towards the back half of the season, but been consistent enough to keep himself up in that top 4. So I really think it's going to come down to a lot of things. Who may not be who has the fastest truck next week. It may be who has the best luck next week.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm looking forward to racing in Outlaw trucks next week and kind of seeing how things turn out for both championship going on. We got 4 series running next week for championships, and I think the Rebels one's going to be the most exciting one to watch next week.
For sure, and I'm looking forward to calling those 2 races next week here on Intensity Broadcasting. And then again, thank you everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. If you have Twitter, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at IntensityBroad1. Atlee at Manwees likes to put up some poll questions. Has a little fun out there as well. So don't want to not follow Atlee. He likes to have a little fun out there. Again, congrats to Atlee. I said it in the Outlaw race. I'm going to say it again. Congrats to Atlee on a great finish in his Bandolero season. First season, rookie season out in the Bandoleros down at Langley Speedway. Comes home 4th in points. So congrats to Atlee for that. Great young man having a great drive this season, and look forward to see what the future holds for him. Anything you'd like to say, Kai, before we sign off here tonight?
Yeah, catch us over at Intensity Broadcasting. Me and Magic Mike Uribe next Saturday we'll be broadcasting the Cup Championship on Saturday night. A lot of these guys that you caught in Rebels and Outlaws tonight will be over there racing at Las Vegas too. And then right before that, we're gonna have a kids' night race. Let the kiddos of the league go out and race some street stocks and rookie legends. $1,000 in prizes if you're interested. Join the Rebels Discord and we can get you signed up.
And where is that one gonna be?
That one's going to be on Intensity as well.
Now, where's the track?
Oh, they're running over at Langley.
Larry King Langley Speedway. So that
Yes,
should be
sir.
a great race as well. So you're not going to want to miss that. Also, it hasn't been fully announced at the date yet, but I do know the grudge match between the SCSRA and the original Rebels will be going off just after Thanksgiving. So stay tuned. We'll let you know more on that as well. So a lot of exciting things happening here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget, watch live iRacing 7 nights a week here on Intensity Broadcasting. Tomorrow night, we've got the Extreme Forces Racing League Monday Night Mayhem, so you're not going to want to miss that. So check us out here tomorrow night for that. And as always, as our boy Atlee at Manwees would say, over and out.